Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, playing some Mad Games Tycoon. This game just released from early access, so I figured let's go ahead and do a quick look on it. Now this game is very similar to something like Game Dev Tycoon or Game Dev Story, which I think was on the mobile, and Game Dev Tycoon was on the PC. I love both of those games, so I figured this is something we can jump into real quick, give you guys a quick look. I'll have all the information about the game in the description, so if you'd like to check it out, it is on Steam. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in here. Looks like we are going to start out with the player name and company name. Now I did play this for just a moment to get myself familiar with the controls. The tutorial is really just okay. It teaches you the basics, but there's a lot to this game by just scrolling through the menu, so I'm probably not going to be the best at this, but we'll see what happens here. But obviously, my name's Komodo. We're going to be Komodo Gaming Incorporated. I love the company logos in here. They've got company logos that are really similar to real ones. A lot of these games follow this same type of like knockoff type deal, and it's really fun seeing the references from the consoles to the companies. Let's see, I'm gonna go with Naughty Chicken. I don't play many console games, but when I do, I have a PlayStation, and Naughty Dog is one of my favorite companies, so let's go with Naughty Chicken. Of course, I'm a male. Let's go ahead and start this out here. Here's my avatar, or I'm assuming this is me. Let's see, what do we want to be skilled at? Let's try something. I don't really know. There's so many options here. It's a little overwhelming because you don't know exactly where to start. So let's go ahead and pick something just random here. Let's be good at music. We'll be good at 8-bit music, or actually not, PC speaker music. Let's do that. What type of genre are we good at? I want to say building games is all effective, like Scrap Mechanic and stuff like that, but for the sake of being a new developer, I'm pretty sure you need to go with the popular categories, so let's go with arcade. So I've got that. My work wheel, okay, we got some skill points here. Work wheel is up really high, actually. Can I lower that? No, I can't, so, you know what? I guess we need to be good at our trade here, so let's go ahead and put some into music and sound. And let's go ahead and put some into game design. So we've got those two. Actually, that was way too much. It seems like it shifted all my points there. So let's go back. Let's see, music. One down there. Game design. You know, actually, no, let's go one more up on music. We got to be better at that. Anyways, we are ready to go here. I'm going to keep it on the standard speed, and we're going to start in the 80s. Some of you guys might not catch some of these references. I probably could start later, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little more hectic in the later stages. So let's start in the basic. Let's go into the 80s here. Let's put on normal difficulty. And away we go. Alright, Mad Games Tycoon. Initially, many functions are disabled, which is actually really good. Because if you start in the later years, you get kind of overwhelmed. There's so much stuff to do. And I made that mistake my first little playthrough. Actually started in the 90s, and I had no clue what I was doing, so I think this is going to be a little easier here. So let's go ahead and build us a development room. Now you can see all these different options. They even have toilets. Obviously the employees do have their own needs, and I wouldn't want to work in an office without a toilet, so we're going to build that. We're going to build a development room, but you can see all the different types of rooms that you can build, from research, marketing, production. There's like storefronts. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't think you're limited strictly to just developing games. So let's build us a nice big office here. We'll probably have multiple employees, so maybe something about like that. You know, we'll have a nice sized office here. So it's gonna cost us 16 grand. We've got 100,000 in the bank right now, so let's do that. We've got a nice office here, and let's go ahead and build a toilet for the employees. Now, that's an awfully big toilet, but my OCD is going to kick in if I only build it like back here. It's not going to make sense to me. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, I've got to make it bigger. So let's go ahead and go with that. That, and kind of for the sake of the video, like I said, this is a quick look. This doesn't mean this is a gameplay series. So I'm just kind of showing you guys a new game. If you want to see more of this, feel free to like the video. Let me know in the comments, but be sure to go ahead and watch it first. Kind of see if this is your type of game. This might not be everybody's type of game, of course. So anyways, we need to place a desk in here for me. We could invest in maybe, there's these middle and these higher up desks. You can actually, I guess, get stuff done faster. Don't want to make that initial investment. I don't have a lot of money here, but let's go ahead and do it. You know what? Let's just get it all done here. So there we go. Place that there, and we are going to need a toilet. That way we can use the bathroom. There we go. All right, can I stick that to the side? Why does that have to be, that's really odd. Why does it have to be in the middle of the floor here? I'd like it for it to be on the side, but you know, it's gonna go right there. All right, we are set. We are ready to go. I guess maybe I should put a sink in here. There we go. All right, no more wasting money. We've already spent I've already spent a little over $40,000. I guess we need to start working here. So we've got our employee here. We're gonna place him at the desk. And let's go ahead, we've got contract work. This works very similar to the other games. You can take on contracts, you can take on game development contracts, random contracts for just companies that are not even related to games. But I think what we need to do, let's go ahead and start developing a game. We're a little developer here. It's just gonna be me. Eventually, I will try to hire somebody else before the end of this video, hopefully. But let's go ahead and start out. So what are we dealing with here? So what type of game are we gonna do? There's a lot of questions that you start asking yourself. You can go to type of games. You've got retail, MMO, and free to play. Of course, all we can do is retail right now, so that's 10,000 up front there. Let's see what topics we got. Espionage, hell, and sandbox. How did I end up with these topics? Oh my. I guess we're gonna do a sandbox game. I guess set in hell. That's gonna be weird. Okay. And let's go ahead and do, I think I specialize in arcade games, so it's gonna be an arcade game. This is already not making a lot of sense. Another thing you can do, you can go put an engine in the game. You can develop your own game engine, or you can go buy one. We're gonna develop this first game without one. That might hurt us a little bit, but you shouldn't expect anything from your first game. Target audience, well, I'm pretty sure a sandbox game set in hell is not gonna be for children, so let's go with the teenager audience here. Game name. I'm not really good at naming stuff, so let's go with Hell's Sandbox. That is a terrible name. Not sure I'd buy that game. You can also do your game size. Of course, these are gonna be unlocked later on in the game. You can get all the way up to like AAA games, and the development cost is insane, so. Anyways, let's see, platforms. I think the only platform we have right now is the personal computer. Eventually you can buy different platforms from different consoles, different types of computers like Apple, and just there's a whole, it kind of actually follows along with the timeline and does like a parody of it, so you'll see the newer consoles released in the 2000s and stuff like that. So anyways, I guess we are ready to go here. Now we get these little sliders. Okay, this is, let's make this a little more about gameplay, maybe a little more story driven. This definitely needs to be an atmosphere game, so let's go ahead and put that there. I wouldn't say this is going to be a beginner-friendly game. Let's just stick that in the middle, and we'll stick the between the core gamer and casual gamer. We'll stick that in the middle too. So we've got that. You can do different language supports. I think for the time being, let's just stick it straight to 1 because I don't want to actually spend a whole bunch of money on this. Let's see, graphics. You know, let's just keep all this. We'll be really neutral for this first game, so we'll go 25% on everything. There we go. This talks about some of the features you can add. Of course, if you have a new game engine, you'll unlock different features, so let's go ahead and just keep it all the same here. And he's going to start developing it. Now, you probably already noticed that this is a lot more advanced than Game Dev Tycoon. I love Game Dev Tycoon. I've spent countless hours in it. But seeing all the different features here, this is pretty crazy, so I'm really excited to jump into this and see what kind of trouble I can get myself into. When I say trouble, I'm probably gonna be very bad at this. But anyways, he's developing there. Let's go ahead and speed up some time and let him finish this game up, and we'll see what it does. I'm not expecting much here. All right, Hell's Sandbox is ready to go. Now we can go ahead and publish the game now. I don't think that we can patch it or anything. Eventually, I guess later in the game, I might be able to do it now. You can go, actually once your game's released and it's selling, you can go patch it or update it, which is really neat. Let's see, improvements, can we do anything? I can't do any of these improvements. This is probably stuff you unlock. There's just an absolute ton of unlocks here. I guess we need to find a game publisher here, so, do I notice any of these? That's actually, looks like Hasbro, and maybe that's Bandai, is it Namco Bandai? iGames, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. Maybe something Apple related. Roar, I'm assuming that's supposed to be Rare. Okay, well this is a sandbox game and an arcade game, so let's go with somebody that's got the same fan base, and there's actually quite a few arcade game fan bases here, so I'm just looking through these. It looks like for this info or info comms, whatever we want to call this, we get a $7 share, I guess, per game. So we're gonna go with them. And I think we are ready to release this thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Now there is one other game in the same genre that's been released, I guess, in the same time frame. So we'll see. We're gonna have a little bit of competition here. All right. Now we can build research areas. We can now get new features, genres, and themes. You'll build a little research office, and you'll have them start to research on that. And it does take a little while, I noticed, so it's kind of a time-consuming process, but I don't know if we're even gonna do that. I mean, we're really low on cash. We might have to take a loan out here really soon, so anyways. All right, our first game is released. And actually, it did really good in the sound department, 91%. Controls 73, graphics are good, gameplay is terrible. So it says the graphics look really good, there isn't much to complain about. The sound is the best I've ever heard. That's thanks to my character. The new standard for sound, the controls are very well done. Only some small tweaks. The gameplay is extremely boring though. So we've got one of those pretty games. It sounds good, graphics look good, and it's really terrible. So obviously it's like, was it Rise, Son of Rome? That game was gorgeous, looked good, and it was boring. So all right, let's go ahead and release this. Get it going here. Can we go ahead, make sure we're going at normal speed here. See, I don't think, can we do any patches or anything? Oh, actually, nope, wrong button there. Yeah, I don't think, oh, no, I don't want to move you. Clicking all the wrong buttons here. Okay, we can actually develop a patch. I don't think the game was buggy, but the gameplay was really lacking on it, so maybe we can add new campaigns or let's do a new game mode to it, see if we can perk that up a little bit. It's only gonna cost a little bit of money to do that. All right, so our game's being sold right now. I'm up in the top right, so we're gonna kind of monitor that, see if we end up in the red, or maybe we can make a little bit of money on this game. I'm hoping to not be in the red, but I can't guarantee it. The game was a little boring, so that's a little unfortunate. But, oh, actually, no, we're instantly in the green, so we need to go ahead and invest. I'm gonna try to move this along a little faster in this video than I normally would. Normally, I'd probably take my time with this. Let's go ahead and build another office over here. And this is gonna be our research department. Put a little door here, get a desk, and we're gonna hire another employee. Anyways, we're still selling pretty good. I think it's time to go ahead and maybe develop another one. I mean, we could always go in there and try to massage the game even more with updates, but I think we need to just stay on it here. So let's go ahead and develop another game. Now this is where I'm gonna run into an issue. And actually, before we develop this, let's go ahead and jump back out. We need to start researching here. We need different topics desperately because our topics are terrible. Love sandbox games, so that's a good base, but we need to pick another topic that goes along with that. So trying to find something. Let's look around and see what we've got here. There's tons of topics, by the way. Crime. So we can have like a GTA style game. That makes sense to have like crime and sandbox together. So let's go ahead and research that. He's gonna get going on that. This is gonna take a while. We're still selling really pretty strong here, so we're making money. I don't know if I want to go ahead and rush into development of another game because I'm limited to those 3 topics, but it could be worth it. I mean, even if it's not a big seller. Let's go ahead and see what our other options are real quick. Obviously, you know, maybe an espionage sandbox game would be something that would somewhat make sense. All right, so we got an espionage sandbox game. Okay, it's gonna be, let's go with the teenager crowd. It seems like it's not a child's game, so the genre, we're gonna stick with the arcade. Subgenre I don't have. It's still gonna be without an engine. You've also got a random game name. You can do these. It's really funny because obviously the parody names. Steel Gear Solid. What else do we have? Immortal Kombat, Infinite Darkness. Let me think. It's an espionage game. So, I don't know, let's go with Behind Wars. That sounds weird, but let's go with that. Do that, let's select a platform here. We're gonna do the personal computer, that's all we have right now. We can't buy dev kits yet. So let's do that. Obviously this should be, it's actually kind of giving me a hint that maybe we should go a little more on the graphics side, which our gameplay was a little weak last time, so I don't know if that's gonna hurt us. So let's shift those over a little bit. Let's keep the atmosphere up. Let's maybe not make it as friendly. Let's make it a little more for the core gamer here. Do we have any fan letters? No, we don't. Okay, let's go over. Alright, do I want to stay neutral here? You know, I feel like I'm so strong in sound, I can actually dial that back a bit because my skills are going to make up for it. Let's try pumping a little bit into the gameplay. So let's do that. Maybe we should support a couple other languages. How much does that cost? Ooh, that's a $5,000 gap, and I'm really not sure what I'm going to gain by that. Let's play it safe for now. So let's do that. Of course, we're running without an engine, same features. Good to go here. So let's see what happens. You're going to start developing on that. I'm going to fast forward time a little bit. Eventually, our Hell's Sandbox is going to... Oh, our game's selling well. Okay. Oh, you know what? To increase sales, we might want to implement basically DRM. It's a copy protection, so I'm assuming your game can be pirated. I don't know if that really affects, maybe by the year. I'm not sure how many games were being pirated in the 80s. I'm sure this is going to be a thing that you're going to have to really deal with in the 2000s, but I don't know. I'm going to stick off that right now and maybe not do that, but we'll have to see. We'll see if we get any emails or something that says that our game's being pirated. But anyways, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, try to get ahead on the topic and development of our next game. So, alright, Behind Wars is ready to go. I have somewhat high hopes for this game. I'm not 100% sure though. Let's see what happens here. Obviously our gameplay and graphics are the highest they've ever been. Our sound is not quite as good, but I'm hoping that my skill level will kind of excel there. So let's go. We can go with Infocomms again. A $7 share is pretty good. We've worked with them before, so I'm assuming our relationship is pretty awesome. Let's go. Let's see what fan base is. Actually, not the fan bases are not quite there with it. Seems like Hasbro's fan base is definitely the strongest, but it's $1 less on the share. So let's go with that, maybe in the hopes of gaining more fans. So let's do that, and let's release this game. Ooh, there's 3 other games in the same genre right now. I'm pretty sure one of those might be my other one since it's in the arcade, but I'm not 100% sure there. I'm a little confused. Let's see what happens though. Alright. Yeah, this game's not rating quite as high, I don't believe. I believe the other one was a little higher than this. The gameplay definitely stepped it up though. I feel confident about this. The sound's not that great, which I was hoping I can make up for a little bit better than that, but it says graphics are good, there isn't too much to complain about. Sound is below average, hopefully they'll do better next time. Obviously I can go back in there and update the sound. Controls are a little below average, a little polish would be good, but the gameplay is well done. It's good to hear. I think we'll sell decent on this one. Alright, Hell's Sandbox has finally been removed from the market. Sales figures have finally dropped enough to where it's time to stop. But the profit is amazing, $103,000 in profit. I'm pretty sure that's really good to begin the game. I know in Game Dev Tycoon, normally your first couple of games are pretty terrible. You barely make any money off of them, but that's a really strong figure there. So do that. I'm still monitoring. We are making money on Behind Wars. We're almost done with the topic here, so I'm gonna go forward a little bit here, and we should be ready to make another game. Now, obviously, I already have a plan here. This is going to be a crime game, and it's gonna be a sandbox game. It's gonna make sense. It's gotta be GTA. Actually, let's make that all capital. It looks better there. So we've got our first GTA game. It's gonna be, I guess you can still stick that in the arcade game. I know we are saturating this. We're probably gonna have to switch it up next time. So it's 3 arcade games in a row. That could be good. Sometimes people specialize in just one certain type of game, so. Teenager or adult, what really, you know, there's a wide array that plays GTA. There's also several target audiences that, well, audiences that shouldn't play it, but we're gonna go with that teenage audience. So we've got that. I can't, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it without an engine right now. Maybe we're eventually gonna have to develop, because I'm gonna need to add features to this game. We'll go ahead and stick one more without it for now, and then maybe we'll look into creating an engine. I'll show you guys how that works. Now we're gonna buy a dev kit here. We've got the Apple II. That's a 16.9% market share. I'm gonna stick with PC games right now. That dev kit on that the Atari, which is a basically Atari 2600. It's got a high market share, but it's been out for 4 years now. It's same with the Apple II, but the Apple II is only $5,000 for the dev kit. So we're gonna buy that. So we're gonna develop this game for both the personal PC, which has got a 29% market share, and the Apple II, which is close to 17%. Let's see. I guess we need to go a little more on the graphic side, gameplay side, atmosphere, beginner friendly. Sure. We'll swap over a little to that side, and we'll stick it in the middle. We want both casual and core gamers to be able to play this game. Okay, I'm gonna go one down, even though I think gameplay needs to be high. You know what? I think sound's also a little important here. We slacked a little bit on that, so maybe about right there. And let's go ahead and try supporting a couple more languages and see what happens here. Okay, that's at 39,000. That's a pretty expensive game. Of course, we're not running any more additional features, which I'm gonna hopefully change that here soon. So there's that, and we're ready to develop here. All right, GTA is done. Let's go ahead and publish this game. See how it works here. Hopefully it's gonna be good. Now, let's go ahead and go. Fanbase didn't really seem to help us that time, so let's go with a little higher share. We're gonna go back to info or INF, comms, whatever we wanna call it. I keep saying info, it's probably saying that wrong. $7 share, let's go ahead and go with them, and let's release this thing. No other games in the same genre, that's good. That hopefully will boost our sales a little bit. And here's the moment of truth, and oh no, that's slowing down, don't slow down. Ooh, that's not exactly great. Graphics did good, gameplay's kinda crummy, sounds decent, and controls are not very good. That's bad. I think we can add some features, maybe we'll do a couple updates, try to minimize the loss. That was a pretty expensive game. It's a little heartbreaking, so let's go ahead and release this thing. Ooh, okay, Game Developer Legends. A 200% chance of a legendary employee, so... I think it's trying to tell me we need to hire somebody. But is that really a good thing? Maybe we can hire another developer. Looks like we're gonna pretty much make some money on GTA, so that's good. Let's go ahead, can I fit another desk in here? Let's go ahead and get another one of these fancy desks. Ooh, we are, okay, you know what? I think we can fit over here. That looks good. It's kind of blocking the doorway a little bit with this desk, but it'll be fine. There we go, hire, there we go. Now you can quit being picky and come work for me. There we go. You have several employees, now you can build a staff room. You know what? We don't have room for a staff room. Our office is way too small for that. Maybe if we move the car out, we could put some stuff in there, but I don't think that's an option. Like at first when I started the game, I thought that was our workspace because it looks like Game Dev Tycoon. You start out in a garage, a little computer out there. I was like, all right, this is where we start. But no, it's this empty space over here, so. All right, GTA has been removed from the market. It made 29,000. It's not bad. I feel like you had such a strong game there at the beginning. It's kind of upsetting when you don't quite hit that profit margin that you want to. But still feel pretty good about it, and he's inside the wall. Maybe, you know, I think that water cooler is actually backwards. That's something. Anyways, all right, we finished, looks like all of our work. We're ready to go here. We're ready to develop one more new game here. You know what? For the sake of the video, let's go ahead and go buy that engine. Let's go ahead, purchase this engine, just kind of show you guys what it works, or at least how it works, and maybe this will do good for us, I don't know. Did we actually get it there? Okay, I believe we did. All right, let's develop a game here. Now, our topics. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but it feels like we need to do a zombie game that is a sandbox. Not gonna change it up too much on you guys. Let's do that. It's gonna be an arcade game. Man, I really should probably change this. I mean, we've got so many stars, we're gonna make a good game, that's the problem. And I haven't had anybody tell me that you need to stop making these. Like, I can't think of a skill game or a puzzle game to make with those topics, so I feel like we need to stick with arcade. So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna be, I guess we can, let's keep with the thing here. Let's just do a Left 4 Dead game, even though it's a first-person shooter. Let's do that. Of course, we can only go with the B-size game. Okay, we've selected all this. Let's go ahead and develop it with the engine. Now, we're gonna have to share some of our profit, and that's 20%. That's a kind of high, but let's see what happens. Let's go and do that. Oh, target audience. Let's go with a little more adult. Let's see. Or I can say all ages. I'm not sure this is an all ages game. Let's go with the adult audience here. Let's go ahead and develop. Of course, the PC's share is raised up. Oh, but the Apple is kind of dropping. Its market share was at 17 last time, or close to 17. Now it's at 12.4. So this is probably going to be the last game that we put on Apple, not unless it fluctuates back up. So we got that, got copyright protection on it. It's already at a $44,000 development cost. GTA cost, I think, $39. Let's see, graphics, gotta have that. Let's have a long game. Beginner friendly. Atmosphere, definitely. I'm not sure about beginner friendly, but it's suggesting it, so let's just go ahead and go with it. So let's do that. Okay, you know what, we're so good at sound, I feel like we need it to be higher up, so let's go with that. Keep that at 25. Gameplay, I'm trying to keep that gameplay high. Maybe we'll knock that down to 30 and keep that. This is almost back to the neutral point. We're a little more in the gameplay, but I'm not really sure if this is going to be good or not. Let's see. Of course, we've got... Okay, so that's a different graphic support. You got the text support, you've got the 4 color support, so hopefully this will make it a little bit better. Let's do that. So $44,000 cost. I'm assuming they are both working on the game. Yeah, I guess that icon up there means 2 employees are currently working on this game, so this had to pass by pretty quick. Alright, Left 4 Dead is ready to go here. Let's go ahead and publish the game. We've got a new standard for gameplay and graphics, and everything else is kind of maybe. Not 100%. I think we need to go with a new publisher this time. Let's go with something different. I mean, I guess Kremlin's here. That's still a decent share. And Arcade, that works. Alright, here we go. No other games in the same genre, which is good. Let's release it. Come on, jump higher than that. And touch 60-something%. That's 64, 65. That's not bad, not bad. Gameplay's, it's solid. It could be definitely better. Graphics are nice, very nice. Sounds okay, and controls are decent. So, kind of got a little review up here at the top. Let's see what I want to work on when this game's released. I think we need to either bump the controls or the sound up. So let's go ahead and release the game. Slow down time here, that way I can get them working on some game updates real quick. Left 4 Dead, let's go ahead and update graphics or controls. The controls, assuming under technology, let's try. I think this is what I should be working on here. Oh, Mad Game Awards. I doubt we're gonna win anything. I definitely don't want to win that last award. Worst game. We don't need that. GTA is the worst game of the year. Are you kidding me? Minus 2,500 fans. Well, you know what? We didn't even have that many fans to begin with, so it doesn't matter. 35,000. That's good. Come on, let's keep bumping it. Got to keep them sales figures. I wish I had a marketing department and maybe we can do some sort of ads or something to make this thing sell even better. Let's see, 60, you know, that's a good profit range. I'm happy with the way this is selling. I'm actually really happy with the way it's selling. That's working out. But yeah, it's finally slowing down here. But anyways, guys, there is a lot to this game. I mean, there's a lot to go over. Of course, I've pointed out all the different rooms that eventually you're going to unlock. There's a bunch of crazy stuff from server room, production, console development, graphic studios, motion capture. It's just crazy looking. I'm assuming you'll eventually unlock like a huge office, which would be awesome to see. Of course, you do all the hiring of employees, all the placing of objects. It's kind of like almost like a Sims game. There's a lot of depth here, and that's really awesome to see. Game Dev Tycoon was an absolutely great game, but it was a little, once you went through it once, there really wasn't much to do, but it seems like there's a lot more options here on this game. But yeah, I'm going to stick all the information about this game in the description. It is on Steam. It just came out of early access, so it is a full release. I don't know if it supports mods. I'll have to check in on that. But it seems definitely like a really solid title. So if you guys like to check it out, everything's down there. And if you like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. Tomorrow we'll have some more Unturned. Monday should be multiplayer Monday, and then we'll wrap around, do some more scrap mechanic. But yeah, if you want to see more of this, of course, this can always be made into a series, but normally with quick looks, it's just a one-off video. But yeah, just let me know in the comments, comment below, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.